It's been 20 years since TV audiences first thrilled to the sight of the NSEA Protector as it traveled through space on its way to distant galaxies.
I don't like it. It's too easy.
Each week, its crew of daring space adventurers took on a new mission and a new foe.
Strap! We're surrounded, Commander.
Nothing ever stopped this intrepid band of space pioneers. No matter what they encountered, they were always in control.
Surrender may be our only option.
No! Never give up. Never surrender.
I have to say that it was, certainly the high point of my career. I got to dress up and pretend I was the commander of a spaceship. And I got paid for it. Although not much. We had an APTRA problem. That we were trying to merge the contracts, and we didn't know whether we were... I shouldn't get into that stuff.
Now, for the first time since the show's abrupt cancellation in 1982, the original cast members of Galaxy Quest have reunited for a major motion picture. Catch up with Jason Nesmith, Gwen DeMarco, and Alexander Dane as they share their adventures and tell the real stories behind the legendary TV show that has become America's #1 science fiction cult classic.
All Gwen had to do was worry about her hair, and she's not around, is she?
Sometimes I felt like, sort of the camp counselor with a bunch of, toddlers. Kind of the practical one.
Now, I wasn't sure that it was going to be for quite such a long time, or indeed that 15 years on I'd still be talking about it, but of course I'm thrilled.
In the dawn of the new millennium, what better time to take a look back at this visionary television series? Buckle your seatbelts and prepare to discover the real stories in the Galaxy Quest 20th Anniversary Special. The journey continues.
What Galaxy Quest did best was ask probing questions about the nature of humanity and the world.
Galaxy Quest is not just an experience out into space, but inside your individual heart as a person.
It's really struck a nerve in the heart of most Americans, I think.
I'll admit it, the sets look fake and nothing really made sense, but I sort of see it as a metaphor for my own life.
Well, being on the show meant not having to do guest starring roles on Fantasy Island or The Love Boat, which I didn't mind because that girl was pretty attractive.
We went off the air 20 years ago, and I think that was probably a little premature by about 20 years.
I think it was a mistake to cancel us.
So I think that they just gave up because they didn't think, space was where it was at.
We had some pretty rabid fans, and there were people all upset all over the country.
I had people call me all the time, sending me letters, asking me for scripts, asking me for props. They wanted to buy this. Do you have any? I still get letters.
It's always nice to see good work being honored.
A lot of the qualities in the TV show harken back to an earlier time, 15, 20 years ago, when this country was in a different kind of shape. Heroism was a different thing.
This is funny. We did try to get Orson Welles to direct a few episodes. We had this one called The Blibbering Blimp, which is about an alien that was filled with hydrogen.
Now back to the Galaxy Quest 20th Anniversary Special. Though a household name now, Galaxy Quest originated from humble beginnings. It was September 1979 when the original crew took off from this site. Now the studio is just a memory. But though the birthplace of the show is no longer with us, the series seems to live on in the minds of many fans who just can't get enough of Galaxy Quest.
I need a miracle, the last episode, please, somebody. That's my only one I'm missing.
Several times a year, the Questarians, as they like to be called, flock to the conventions like this one to reminisce about the show.
It forced us to ask some very probing questions about ourselves and put it in a meaningful context.
From all over the country they come, many of them searching for memorabilia, anything to keep the memory of the show alive.
We got the magazines, we got the mugs, we got the nebulizers.
Oh my God, to see Gwen DeMarco. I've been waiting so long for this. I'm so excited. I can't believe it.
If they're lucky, they'll even get to meet the former stars of the show, who have become the main attractions of the sci-fi convention circuit.
I styled my hair after her. I go everywhere just thinking about her.
But to fully understand how the show has become what it is today, we must journey back more than 20 years ago when it was just an idea in the imagination of Frank Ross, the legendary creator of the show.
Most people don't know this, but Galaxy Quest was originally going to be a Western. It was called West Quest.
That was the original idea that he took the network, was a Western. And there was those of us, I mean, we were the same characters. They were just, walking around in chaps,
Well, we'd already shot the pilot when our research people came to us and said, Westerns are out.
And he went, and that's how stuff happens in TV. He goes, yes! And we put it right away. It went to a Navy show.
I very quickly rewrote the script and made it about Navy SEALs. It's called Navy Quest.
And I said, how funny is this? That we're in an old ship and there's no war, Frank.
But there was one problem. The studio was going into bankruptcy, and they couldn't come up with the money. But they did have a lot of props and things lying around from an old space movie they had made.
Boom, all of a sudden Frank goes, hey, I got a space.
It's a spaceship.
Space.
But still, it flies.
Help me with this. I said, well, space. How about space? So I think I had a lot to do with it. He said, space.
Voila. Galaxy Quest.